About 4 years ago, as a freshman in high school, I had the opportunity to travel internationally for the first time. This kind of opportunity is something great and something that over time has developed. In fact, my high school orchestra, every 4 years, we took a trip out of the country so that we could explore a part of the world as well as share our music. The year that I went, we went to Italy, and we visited the cities of Rome, Florence, Venice, and Milan. While we were there, we went to museums, we went to historical sites, and we bought lots of souvenirs, and most importantly, we had performances. Our first performance took place at a nursing home, and there it was so great to see the elderly people sing, dance, and enjoy our music. But our next performance took place in an elementary school, and even though the elders were very lively, nothing compares to the energy of children, especially the third graders. They were insane. But my favorite of all performances was the one that took place in front of a nice crowd at the St. Peter's Basilica. I'll never forget how amazing the music just kind of resonated in the air. In fact, no matter how weak we ended, the note just kind of rung in the air and vibrated all through the room. It was just truly amazing, and I really enjoyed that experience. And even though we weren't at the level of professional symphonies, the audience, they were pretty fooled. And so I really enjoyed this experience to travel abroad, and I hope that you do too, because these experiences haven't always existed. In fact, in 1923, Kirk Wright, a World War I veteran, launched a program in which 8 students out of the University of Delaware went to France. According to the University of Delaware, this was the first study abroad program, and following their success, many universities began to implement their own programs. Within the next 2 decades, study abroad grew in numbers, and it seemed like programs were resurfacing all around the globe. In fact, by 1946, this was the real kickstart, and President Truman stood behind this initiative and launched his own program in 1946. So like I said, numbers are growing, more people are studying abroad, and with this, you have to wonder why. What is so important about traveling as a means of education? Well, I have found that there are 2 implications to studying abroad. In fact, they deal with perspective as well as ability. According to Carson, perspective boils down to 2 different things: expanding your worldview as well as personal development. So if any of you have taken a geography course, not only did you learn about where countries were located, but you might have also learned about several indicators, including GDP, GNP, and then where a country falls in the Human Development Index. These kinds of indicators allowed you to determine whether a country was developed or developing. And so based on that, you had an idea of what a country is supposed to look like and how it functions. But what if I told you that if you were to study abroad in a developing country, your ideas about what that country is supposed to look like aren't actually the reality? In fact, when you go there, your experiences might diminish your actual perception of that country and therefore change your worldview. But secondly, you can personally develop as you're traveling abroad, because chances are you're going to have to experience their culture, religion, practices, and ideals. And so while you're there, you might find that these ideals and practices align with yours or in fact are opposite. And that is going to determine whether or not your ideals and beliefs are enhanced or reinforced or suppressed. And so that gives you the question of whether or not you hold on to your beliefs or hold on to the beliefs of that culture. But traveling abroad also gives you the opportunity to grow and build your skill set and increase your ability as a person. And this is through language acquisition, academic discipline, and then professionalism. And so, as you're in that country, chances are you'll want to learn the language. This is important in this era of globalization in which you want to communicate more and more effectively. But also, chances are, when you go to that country, their academic and rigor is going to be a lot different from what you're used to. You might find that their academics are more challenging, and through hard work and dedication, you'll be able to expand on your academic discipline and grow academically. But also, you'll have to network with people. You'll have to meet people you don't know and work alongside them and find ways to connect and work through your experience. You'll also have to be well-behaved, well-mannered, and poised. And so all of these things reinforce this idea of professionalism. And so in our competitive workforce, people are looking for students who are experienced and have this global perspective, and that becomes very important. And so now that I'm telling you, these skills, while they might not seem important to you, they equate to money. And now you're listening. So according to the California Merced, 97% of students who study abroad were able to find jobs within a 12-month period, and 25% of those students out-earned their peers by 17%. This is really important, and for many of us, like, this is something we want to have. We want to be successful, we want to grow money, and we want to be prosperous in our lives. And so if you want to do that, studying abroad may be the first step in that. So overall, while I'm not sure where you want to go professionally in life, you can truly go wherever it is that you want to go. And I hope that while you're here, you'll take advantage of study abroad and the programs that are offered through the school, because this might be the very first step in your path to success. Thank you.